Welcome to the Simple Doesn't Mean Easy podcast. We are here every week working at simplifying things in our lives, one day at a time, one simple step at a time. I'm your host, Michelle Visser. And today, the simple thing that I want to talk about is Christmas morning and breakfast. Because until I figured out a few dishes that are perfect for Christmas breakfast, it was kind of a struggle. Like, we didn't want to stop the festivities of what we were doing as a family, the opening of the gifts and the stockings and the playing with the new things. But yet we were starving. Or if I went to make something, then I would miss something inevitably. So today we're talking about 3 recipes that are my go to on Christmas morning. And I hope that 1 or 2 or 3 of these become favorites for your family too. Before we get started today, I have a quick question. Does coffee sometimes cause headaches for you? Do you avoid drinking too much coffee because you know it's bad for your gut health? You know it's really bad for your dental health? I have some fantastic news for you, all of you coffee lovers out there. I have found a coffee that is truly the best I have ever seen or heard of, and it's absolutely delicious. It's called Java Planet and it's organic. It is certified mold free, which is so important when you're choosing your coffee. And it's shade grown. It's grown the way coffee is supposed to be, not the way the big coffee companies have decided to grow it. That leads to a lot of pesticides and a lot of problems. It's just not good. But this company does it right. Go to soulyrested.com/coffee to find out all my favorites, or just go to jporganiccoffee.com. Whatever you do, make sure you use code SOULYRESTED, SOULYRESTED, and save on every order. It's great coffee, guys. Go check it out. Do want to remind you before sharing these 3 recipes that there is a gift guide over at soulyrested.com/holiday. And I've tucked away a little gift for you from me at the end of the gift guide. But go check it out because even though I know it's getting very close to Christmas, there's always opportunity to encourage health and wellness and hobbies and togetherness with simply the gift that we give. And a lot of, no, all of the gifts on this list, I'm hoping will foster all of those very things. So it's a wide range, huge range from small to large, stockings to big gifts, all different people on your list. It's going to cover them all. So go check it out, soulyrested.com/holiday. And I hope there's something there that inspires you. So, the 3 recipes, which one should I start with? I haven't decided yet. Um, okay, I think I'll start with the one that I actually do pretty much often in this house. It's not really just a Christmas thing, but it's a nice fallback on Christmas. Actually the one of these options that I would use least often, to be honest, because this one does require 10 to 15 minutes of my hands on time. And I'd really rather Christmas morning to have a good meal with 0 effort. So the next 2 recipes that I give you are going to be exactly that. But the first one, it can be literally only 10 to 15 minutes as long as you have a couple things ready ahead of time. For one, you want to have some baked potatoes ready. Well, I should tell you what this is going to be. It is I don't have a name for it. Potato and egg skillet dish. Maybe you could call it. I just cook it up in my cast iron and I take the cast iron skillet right to the table. Um, so first of all, if you want to have some already baked potatoes, and that's really easy for us. We eat a lot of potatoes, and I often intentionally make extra because I want some in the fridge for breakfast. So you want that ready, and you can also have your bacon already cooked and even chopped up and ready because bacon makes this extra good. And I never want to deal with bacon on Christmas morning. But bacon is something, by the way, if you don't know this, that keeps really, really well in the fridge for a week or 2. You just cook it up and any extras that you have, just store it in the fridge, whether it's in saran wrap or a container. And then when you want to warm it up, just put it in your greased skillet for a minute or 2 on each side. And it's warmed up and ready to go. It's so, so easy to add meat to your egg breakfast if you just have the bacon already cooked. Anyway, so if you have that already cooked, you can even already have it diced up, and you can have your vegetables already cut up. Some pepper and some onion is all you really need. I just get my cast iron skillet hot and I coat it. Well, why did I say coat it? I put some lard in it so that it covers the bottom, enough lard to cover the bottom. And of course, I know a lot of people don't have lard. You can use butter, you can use avocado oil, whatever healthy cooking oil you like to use. And then the potatoes go in first. You want them to be cubed. Again, you can do that ahead of time too. Just have this all in a container ready to go and plop it in your skillet. But I do put the potatoes in first because they do take longer. They do take up pretty much that whole 15 minutes to get them nice and brown. And they don't have to go that long. That's just me. I'm really kind of picky about my potatoes and I like them nice and crispy. But they could only go half of that amount of time and be nice and warm and ready to eat. And the peppers and onions, once the potatoes have been in there for maybe 5 minutes, they've started to get warmed up. I will put the vegetables on the other side. So I'll move all the potatoes to one side of my skillet and I'll put my peppers and onions on the other side. I do that so that I can really easily keep a close eye on the peppers and onions so they don't burn and I can turn them often. Sometimes you might need to even add some more lard or healthy oil to your skillet depending on, if it starts to dry up a little bit. But once the peppers and onions start to look a nice color, I mix them in with the potatoes. That will keep them from getting burnt. So then everything's just filling up the skillet. And when the potatoes look like they're almost exactly where you want them, I make some holes, some wells around the skillet for however many eggs I'm going to be putting on. And then you crack your egg, one egg into each hole. And you can put some cheese on top, sprinkle that bacon on, or you could put the bacon in with the eggs. Wait, I didn't mention the eggs. No, I did mention the eggs. I'm looking out the window at what the dog is doing and I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry, guys. Um, Back to focus, Michelle. You can sprinkle the bacon on, the egg, the cheese on if you want cheese, and then turn it down low or maybe even off because your cast iron is going to retain that heat. After a minute or two, put your lid on, come back maybe 5 minutes later, and it should be perfectly ready to eat. Often, instead of even bothering with those wells, that's kind of a fun thing I do once in a great while. But honestly, more often, I will scramble up my eggs in a bowl and have it ready. Pour the eggs in when the potatoes are the right brownness. And then you just need like 2 minutes, turn it all over, another couple minutes, and it's good to go. So it's a really yummy breakfast that's hearty and pretty low key as far as preparation, especially if you have the things ready ahead of time. But the two things that are more common that I make on Christmas morning are a coffee cake, which is a make ahead coffee cake, and souffle, which is a family recipe from Bill's grandmother. And it is a recipe that our family loves. And I love it. When I was a young married wife, it was the first recipe that I ever put to memory. It wasn't like I tried to put it to memory. It's just I made it enough that suddenly I realized, oh, I wasn't pulling out the recipe card from Grandmom anymore. I knew how to make this. And it's also very simple. So I shouldn't be too proud of this fact. Anyway, I want to pause here and remind you hearthandhomesteadstore.com is the best source for clean, non toxic skincare products that do exactly what they promise. If you go to soulyrested.com/soap, you can see all my favorites, and there are a lot of them. Use code SOLYRESTED and save 15% off of your entire order over at hearthandhomesteadstore.com. Also, guys, I love sugar. We go to a lot of trouble to make our own all natural sugar because we don't want it bleached or highly processed. But what if I told you there was an organic, all natural way to sweeten your tea with 0 calories? You do need to be using loose leaf, but you really should ditch the bleached tea bags anyway if you're still using them. You want to add just a pinch of stevia leaves while it steeps for a few minutes, and your tea is suddenly sweeter. Go to soulyrested.com/teas, TEAS, and find some, along with 8 of my all-time favorite teas that you really should try. That's Souly Rested, SOULY rested.com/TEAS for the best organic stevia leaves, and the best teas. Let's start with the coffee cake. You want, it's very standard ingredients. You want your butter. You want some, well, you know what? I have it in front of me. I'll just read you the ingredients. And I will also link this in the show notes. I don't have like a written out recipe of the other two things. You know what? Maybe I do for the souffle. Whatever I have, I'll link in the show notes, I promise. um, your ingredients for this coffee cake, it's a sour cream coffee cake, is a stick of butter, a cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, a cup of sour cream, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So you want to cream. Oh, and you do also need some brown sugar and white sugar to mix together for your crumble. You want to cream the butter, the sugar, and the eggs, and then add in the dry ingredients, then add in the sour cream and the vanilla and mix it all well. You put half of that in the bottom of your 9 by 13 pan, and then you put your sugar that you've crumbled together in a layer on top of that, and then you put another layer, the rest of the batter, and it's you want to have extra sugar too because you want to put it all over the top too, of course. In fact, you can even skip the middle layer and just put it all over the top if you want to make it even easier for yourself. But you can cover it then and refrigerate it overnight. So I will do this the night before, and it's very forgiving. It really doesn't matter how many hours it's sitting in your fridge. It really, really doesn't. And then you want to preheat the oven when everybody's opening gifts. And when you're about 30 minutes away from when you want to sit down and eat, you just pop the cheesecake, or not the cheesecake. You pop your sour cream coffee cake into the oven. Makes the morning smell good, and it's totally hands off because you did the preparation the night before, and even that's easy. And then you just pop it in the oven. Granted, it's not a really big breakfast. Sometimes I'll make 2 of them. Even then, it's not like a nice variety of nutrients. So I might scramble some eggs, might have some bacon ready, but it's totally fine to just have coffee cake too. It really is, especially if you're using fresh flour, because then you're getting 40 of your 44 essential nutrients. Okay, last thing is Grandmom's recipe for souffle. And it's also very simple ingredients. The thing I recommend the most for this is to have your stale bread, to keep any stale bread. We never, ever, ever throw away bread in this house because we'll either use it for breadcrumbs or for croutons, or 9 times out of 10, we're using it for this souffle recipe. I've never, ever, I don't think, made this souffle recipe with fresh bread because why? I'm always using my stale bread this way. So when bread starts to go stale, I just pop it in the freezer. And then you need 4 slices roughly. You know, if you're thinking of a standard sandwich bread piece of bread, you need 4 slices. That's what Grandmom's recipe called for, 4 slices. Homemade bread, just make your own guess. And again, such a forgiving recipe, you're not going to mess it up. It could be 6 slices, it could be 3 slices. Well, 3 slices would be pretty small. Anyway, break up your bread, and it's fine if you take it right out of the freezer and put it in your pan. I just use a pie plate, but you could also use an 8 by 8 baking dish, and you break up your bread and put that in the bottom of the pan. And then you want to put half a pound of grated cheese on top of your bread. And then you want to beat 4 eggs and just beat them. For some reason, I still to this day think of this, and I don't know if it matters, but Grandmom's recipe said slightly. So I always just barely mix them. I don't know if it matters for the texture of the souffle. Um, and then you want to add 2 cups of milk in with your eggs. Mix that up a little bit more and pour that over top of your bread and your cheese. That is it. That's it. Then you put something over that to cover it and sit it in your fridge. Again, so forgiving. It can sit there however long you want it to, but I usually do it overnight. And then in the morning, you just pull it out and put it in your 350 oven. And it takes 30 to 45 minutes. Honestly, you know by the look of it more than anything, because the amount of cheese and eggs are often a variable for me if I'm doubling it or whatever. So I just go by the puffiness and the brownness on top. When you peek inside the oven, it is a glorious puffed up shape. It's beautiful. And it's a really nice crisp brown on top. The only bad thing about this meal is that the beautiful presentation of it, it's so beautiful when it comes out of the oven and it's all puffed up souffle. It only lasts for like maybe 2 minutes and then it's totally deflated. So get everybody around the table first and then pull it out of the oven and set that steaming, beautiful, puffy, tall souffle in front of them, and it will make their Christmas wonderful. It will. So that's my 3 recipes, and I decided I was gonna keep this episode that simple, and I wanted to give you something to make your Christmas extra easy on you, extra simple for you, and yet extra special, I hope, with good food because nutrition and nourishment truly matters even on Christmas morning, right? So, again, be sure to take a second to get my little gift for you and check out some encouragement on how to give gifts with a purpose this year over at soulyrested.com/holiday, HOLIDAY. And that's it for today, guys. I want to say thank you. Thank you for this whole wonderful year. Not that we're to the end of it quite yet, but thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And remember, it isn't easy to always be cognizant of how blessed we are. I do think around this time of year, it tends to be easier, but then again, this time of year could make it the hardest on you depending on your circumstances. I know I have walked through some very difficult holiday seasons with a lot of grief and difficulties, so I know it also might be a really difficult season for you. But my hope is that in the midst of it, you can truly see the blessings. You can see the simple joys, the really common, simple things to be thankful for. And it's a good life, guys. So enjoy the simple everyday efforts. Not easy, but a good life.